The basement.
The basement.
No!
The basement.
Oh, the basement.
I know that.
The basement.
Oh boy.
No!
Oh boy.
Am I dead?
The basement.
But nobody ever says that.
The basement.
The basement.
Wait.
The basement.
Hey everybody, I'm Stan.
I'm Guy.
We're with The Basement. We're back to record our September Wrestling Roundtable extras. We're recording it a little bit late. We're going to record it after the previous two videos were recorded. However, we had a staff meeting and time kind of got away from us. We didn't record it. So, some of the stuff we're going to discuss was stuff we're planning on discussing, but it's happened already because we've had the pay-per-view already. So, with no further ado, this is kind of our extra section where we're just going to discuss some of the stuff that had gone on in the last month. I don't think we're planning on hitting on anything that happened on Raw or Smackdown or the pay-per-view. We'll just kind of glaze over that stuff. But
Yeah. It's 1:03 in the morning. I haven't even seen SmackDown yet. So
I saw it, but I am very tired. I need to be up in like 5 hours, so... With no further ado, Guy, you can lead us. I see you have a big list of notes.
one thing I recently added was Del Rio and Paige. Del Rio is gone. He split amicably from the WWE.
Which, I understand that, yes, he did his due diligence and stuff, but I guess Triple H wasn't a big fan of his work ethic.
No.
So,
He had a bit of an attitude.
yeah.
But he's gone, and then someone on Twitter broke news that Paige quit as well after she hired the lawyers, but I guess that's not the case, so I don't know. She still has lawyers hired for whatever. But.
We'll see what happens. Ultimately, I think Del Rio is probably better off going somewhere else. He wasn't really going anywhere. And, Paige is part of the women's division. I don't really care.
Yeah. Rusev, he's back from his honeymoon. They went on their honeymoon. That's why they were off TV.
Yep.
But, touching on Raw a little bit, he's back.
Yeah.
So.
His return on Raw was good. It's good to have him back. I think he's definitely a good factor in the WWE right now. They have created a good character as long as they continue to push him in the right manner.
Yeah. Putting him up against Roman Reigns again is good.
Yeah.
It's two brute forces going one-on-one, so...
Because I probably won't remember it for the next roundtable since we just touched on Roman Reigns. Coolest thing ever, Monday Night Raw, Kevin Owens, fisherman suplex off the second rope.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go find it. I gotta be out there. It was really impressive. Continue.
One thing that I was very hopeful for that I don't think is going to happen is Shane versus Brock Lesnar, Shane McMahon, because it had that whole vibe of they were feuding and they had that unfinished business from the F5, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either. It would be interesting.
That would be
But
great.
I think the thing is I think Lesnar is better used against an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
All right, continuing.
Chad Gable is still out. The original is 2 to 4 weeks. So that's a huge blow to the tag team division for SmackDown.
Yes and no. I think that what they're doing with it is actually intelligent, of using it to build a American Alpha Usos feud with the Usos turning heel. I think it plays in well into their hand. I think they're utilizing it well. And I think because the Usos, gimmick aside now, with the heel gimmick I think is better for them right now. It's not quite as stale. You got two teams that definitely are very good tag teams and very good at tag team wrestling, and it'll hopefully open up some really interesting series.
Yeah, I like the Usos as a heel tag team.
Yeah, and it's just I think we're gonna have some really good matches out of that.
Going on topic of the heel, the Miz retained.
The Miz.
I don't know what happened in SmackDown, but Backlash he retained.
At SmackDown, he once again cut his Healy promotion, which he is still the best heel in the business, fully understanding that whole heel is not supposed to be liked. Basically, the big thing on SmackDown with him this week is your buddy, the guy who jobbed Braun Strowman. What the hell is his name? Ellsworth.
Oh yeah, James,
he was AJ Styles' partner. AJ Styles had to find a partner to fight John Cena and Dean Ambrose. Cena came back, but
okay.
And he couldn't find anybody. Everybody laughed him off, so they assigned him Ellsworth. On Ellsworth's way to the ring, the Miz came out and attacked him. The Miz ended up being AJ Styles' tag team partner.
That poor guy. Oh well.
Hey, you know what? He's making money. He's on television. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Another thing I was hoping was the Miz to feud with Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan to have like one match with the Miz. And
I think they're going to keep playing on that. I feel like it's almost like they were testing the ground to see if that's still popular enough, and I think everybody very much would like to see Daniel Bryan come back. Obviously, I don't want him to come back at the expense of his health. Mm-hmm. So I hope they don't just make a decision based on dollars and cents, and I don't think they will.
No. Speaking of Braun Strowman jobbing, he is now having actual main roster wrestlers job to him, which is great. That's a step in the right direction for him.
If they want to build him into this monster, that's what they have to do. Mm-hmm. It was fine to use the jobbers to begin it, and now to continue it with like normal roster guys, yep. It makes sense.
Something I didn't have on my list, but just recently on Raw, Jack Swagger, his contract is up.
He was on SmackDown tonight.
Interesting.
At 12:01, his Raw contract came up. Oh, it's not that his WWE contract is up.
Yeah.
It was his Raw contract. So he showed up on SmackDown and got in Baron Corbin's face.
Okay.
The one thing that's amazing to me with Jack Swagger is, and I think it's something that we're missing the boat, is the We the People thing. It's still really over.
It is.
It still gets, everybody does it, and he did it on SmackDown. It's very obvious that they've realized it now. I don't know that Mark forgot to start the recording. I don't know that, no, we've got that little thing in there. Hopefully, Mark, when you're editing this, since you're watching it, now you know where to put Jack Swagger's picture.
Yep.
There's a full frame of it. Anyway, I lost my train of thought after watching Mark run around in the background.
Jack Swagger.
He's
on SmackDown.
We'll see. He's on SmackDown. We'll see what happens. It's good to see him back on the Raws or on the card because he's a decent in-ring performer. So, Continuing.
Now, who did he? Oh, he lost to Jinder Mahal on Raw.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good for him to job kind of to Jinder Mahal and have Jinder Mahal go over.
Well, it helped support Jinder Mahal on Raw and start to establish him. It also gave a good storyline excuse for Swagger to be moving on.
Triple H and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is great replacing Finn Balor as kind of a second choice kind of thing.
I think to me it's less of necessarily a second choice and more of a, well, we can't work that angle, so here's a different angle, and Kevin Owens is an easy puzzle piece to fit in.
Yeah. Kevin Owens is definitely a good heel. He's good on the mic with the whole Kevin Owens show. That shirt, that old school Raw logo, is fantastic. But what is Triple H gonna do? Because he's not.
I think what they're trying to do is they're just gonna tie Kevin Owens with Triple H because they need a face at the top on Raw, and maybe now it's time to let Seth Rollins kind of make that flip. That's kind of my feeling on it. I don't know if that's the case because of the way they've been booking Seth Rollins in promos and stuff.
He's becoming less of a face and more of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Which is next on my list, Seth Rollins babyface. I mean, it's good to have him be the anti-hero because, making him full face would be very hard because he's got that natural wily charisma of...
I think that he has a moveset that is more congruent with hero, with your face, with good guy, kind of a high flying style, but we'll see what happens. I like the Kevin Owens as your top heel. He does it so well. He is definitely talented. He definitely understands the business in that case, and there was no doubt that was where it was at. And it also is nice because now it opens up the fact that Kevin Owens is wrestling somebody other than Sami Zayn. Mm-hmm. As much as I love watching him wrestle Sami Zayn, it's cool that spread. And that being said, now Sami Zayn has a feud with Chris Jericho, so there's something he's doing too.
Yeah. Also, Mick Foley is doing a fantastic job as GM of Raw. Mick Foley is amazing.
I like the whole Mick Foley's having a mental breakdown because of Seth Rollins.
Yep.
It's played well. It's being done incredibly well.
Yeah, Mick Foley can play mad when he wants to play mad.
Anything else you have?
Nothing else I have.
Just a couple of notes that I took that from earlier in the month since our last extra shot. Shelton Benjamin going through the physicals and tests. It was discovered that his rotator cuff was messed up. He underwent surgery. He won't be back for close to a year, which kind of sucks. It's kind of a hit where it's like they signed a big guy, and he's not back. And the thing is the big issue with it is Shelton Benjamin is far from young. I think he's right around 40, and that's rough because you're losing a year in the kind of twilight-ish years of your everyday career. But hopefully everything goes well. He comes back because I was kind of looking forward to seeing him. I have Gallows and Anderson on my list because I'd like to say, as much as I thought the Gallows and Anderson doctor promos they were cutting were hilarious, I like much more what they're doing with him now.
The old fart.
Now they're at. They basically have them as just badasses again.
Yeah.
And that's the way they need to be gimmicked. Is they just need to be the badasses on Raw, come in, beat ass, be done with it. But I wanted to point out that I did appreciate the promo they cut. Damian Sandow premiered on Impact, and shockingly, when he came out and cut his first promo, he had mostly good things to say about the WWE. He said, I appreciate everything they did for me, just kind of going our separate ways because I wanted to go somewhere where I had a little bit more freedom, which is cool. He was very professional about it. It gives me hope that he's going to spend some time in dumpster fire land. And I'm not saying there isn't good stuff on Impact from time to time, but overall, the whole company is kind of a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I've tried to watch Impact. I don't even understand what's going on because their announcers are in front of like a CGI screen and they're not even there. I don't.
It's ultimately, like I said, it's a kind of a dumpster fire. But it gives me hope that he can do what he's doing there and then sometime come back because he was somebody I loved on Raw. And the only other thing I have in my notes is just Kurt Hawkins' return, imminent return.
I was going to say something about that.
The way they've been promoting him, they used like the Chuck Norris facts initially. There was some more of that tonight actually on the SmackDown. Maybe it was on Raw. I don't remember. I think it was on SmackDown tonight. Just an interesting way to promote him. Most people don't even remember him. So, it'll be interesting to see him when he comes back, what kind of shape he's in, what kind of job he does. If he just does the job, I guess. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty busy month. There was also a handful of other things that went on. There's a lot of controversy over Sasha Banks, where she came out, everybody thought she was gonna retire. She's like, I got bad news, and Dana Brooke came out and she beat the shit out of Dana Brooke, and she's like, it wasn't bad, it was bad news for Charlotte because I'm gonna beat her ass. And
the other thing with that, the triple threat match with her, Bayley, and Dana Brooke on Raw, the way she pinned Bayley, her shoulders were down as well. So there's talk that the main event at Clash of Champions is going to get turned into a triple threat match because of that. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. And ultimately, I don't really care. To be 100% fair.
Yeah, I fast forward and then I see the end of the match. And I'm like, watch the end, just the pinning part, just to see who won. I don't care about the filler or the match because it's not all that great.
Yeah. Although, well, the one thing, like, on the pay-per-view, you had the powerbomb superplex thing. They did that on Raw or on SmackDown tonight as well. SmackDown or Raw?
SmackDown, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I think I fast forward.
I don't remember which one it was on, but they, like, literally... It was on Raw because my wife was in the living room and I was just like, oh my god, it's just like literally exactly the same thing. Cool that you're doing that stuff, but I don't need to see it the very next night again.
At the beginning of Raw, when Mick Foley came out and he introduced Charlotte and then Bayley came out, or Sasha Banks came out and then Bayley, my wife was actually like, why are you even watching this part? And I'm like, because of Mick Foley. If Mick Foley hadn't been out there, I would have fast forwarded through it and not watched it. But
yeah,
it's Mick Foley. I mean, Foley is God. You gotta watch him.
And he's always pretty impressive. I don't think I have anything else of last month. At least there was nothing else in my notes, and it's so early in the morning or late at night, whichever you prefer, that I'm pretty lost for thoughts. Did you not fix it, Mark?
It went into demo mode again.
Ah, funny.
More screen picture things right there.
Yeah, just put a picture of me
Mick
and
Foley,
Guy doing me suplexing Guy through a table. Put that on there. You got footage of that somewhere. But yeah, no, I think that's all that we have for this month. It was kind of a rough month. It's been busy, and we're scrambling around. Hopefully next month we'll be a little bit more right on cue. We'll be a little bit more organized.
Also, hopefully, we should have a better... Well, we're working on a better set. Also, Slam Crate. We can start unboxing that soon.
Yep, Slam Crate will be next month. And you never know who might show up. I'm not saying we might have a special guest next month. So stay tuned for that. If you like anything we've said, please like us. Leave us comments. If you got stuff you want us to discuss, you want to see what our opinions on things, leave it in the comment section. I pay attention to the comments. So, unlike most channels, that's something that I actually do.
And subscribe.
And subscribe. And if you want to watch some of our other videos, Mark is going to put some up. Oh, where's it going to be, Mark? Where's it going to be? Up there. Yeah? Okay. Well, thanks again for watching. We appreciate your time. Have a good night.